Okay. Uh, Hi everyone. I'm also sending now via chat the YouTube link. Um, Keshav, Fiona, I think I
Yes.
will start.
All right.
Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Today we would like to discuss with you all, present our company, JL Management and Industrial Systems and Dusen IT software company, our partner. And our subject is transform your organization with advanced analytics. This is very hot topic, and we have many questions about this. This is why we decided to make this virtual event, to explain what kind of things we can do via advanced analytics. So today, Fiona will be our host from Dusen, and Keshav and me will present our companies. So I think this is, now can I use, yeah, I can control. There is a lag. So my name is Jale Gökba. I am Managing Director of JL Management and Industrial Systems. Keshav Bangalore from Canada, Chief Sales and Marketing Officer of Dusen Company. So, sorry. At today's agenda, first I will give our philosophy services. Dusan will explain their solutions via platform and software side, and they will explain about the analyze their product, and a little bit information about advanced analytics, workflow, frameworks, and also some cases. Today we have some polls. We will ask some questions, and this will be answered during our virtual event. And at the end, before question and answer session, Ms. Fiona will explain about the results. So you can have a chance to ask questions and get the answers, so we can go in detail until what you want. So the first poll is Fiona, will you?
Yeah.
Our first question, would you say your company is maximizing the value of its data? One is yes. Number two answer is no or uncertain. We are now asking you the first poll questions.
All right. Go ahead, Jale.
Okay. So the I will go. Okay. JL Management and Industrial Systems are located in Istanbul, but we are giving services all over the world. And we are the technical driven global consultancy company. We are always working with the best in class service companies. The providers, our partners are very good. So one of them is the Dusen, and we are proud to present their solutions together with this initial virtual event today. And our scope is especially for small, medium enterprises, startup companies, scale-up companies, and customized solutions for the normal big companies. Also, we are helping the exit strategies also. So especially last 10 years, we work for the going digital for the all companies, because currently if you want to be a game changer or stay in the game, you need to short time response and true analysis. So let's continue. Yeah, we have 3 main modules. One is the Mission Ikigai. This is the personal transformation systems. So we know very well the importance of the people, especially leadership in the enterprises. Also organizations are not only the boxes. The people are very important, and we are giving hand the people to find their own Mission Ikigai. Mission Ikigai means the reason for being, why we are here. And if you find your own Ikigai in your business, you will find your best of you. So this is also a kind of boosting your performance in your company, in your life. So you can also do the life work balance very good. So actual system solutions are our second step. If you are willing to be an entrepreneur, or you want to make it happen some good ideas, so you need some guidance how to do it. Of course, technical point of view or your talents, you know how to do. But for make it money with your idea, you need our support. So this kind of services are given by JL Management System, Excel System Solutions. If you have a company, enterprise needs a boost, the performance, if you are losing your money, or you are losing your customer, or you want to merge new market and you want to go a little bit more farther than your position, so you need our Keep Biz Fit systems. So our services is, when we summarize this, business analytics, business intelligence, business improvements, partner solutions, consultation, special consultation, and training sessions. So our philosophy, we are a little bit opportunist for you. So we find your opportunities and help you to make them money. Instead of losing money, you can make them money. So we are helping you to monetize your idea or your problem. Even it's problem, you can make it a better way. So how we are working? First, we are touching with the clients, and we are doing a very quick scan about your structure. Then we provide you the health report and the possible solutions. And if you are agree with us, we are helping also to implementation phase from the consultancy, coaching, or we can turnkey project management. Then we are also offering the regular checkups for the progress. So today we will like to explain you our partner Dusen's the best, very good, I can say competitive software, the Analyst, for the advanced analytics and business intelligence. So I will give my hand to Keshav, but before I giving him, I have another poll. The question is, which of the following best describes the level of investment your company is making to enable to use of data and analytics. If you are thinking you don't have money or it's very minimum, you can choose the one. And if you have a budget, planned budget, so 5. So in between 1 to 5, you can vote. Miss Fiona, your turn.
All right, I'm gonna end the poll now.
Okay.
And then let's move on to Keshav Bangalore, who will talk about Dusen and Analyns.
Thank you. Hello and welcome all. Thank you for taking the time out and being here today. I'm just trying to get the screen moving, so just give me 1 second, please. Fiona, can you just check if I have the control?
Yes, you do. Go ahead.
There you go. Okay, there's a bit of lag here again. So I want to just give you a quick overview about Dusen. We at Dusen specialize in providing and managing data ecosystems for organizations of all sizes. We have customers where we call the large enterprise onto the mid-size and small customers. We offer data management as a service, data transformation, master data management, would be most familiar to some of you, and business intelligence services and predictive analytics or advanced analytics. We also focus on, as a result of that, data security, governance, and end of the day, helping organizations make a meaningful use of their business data. We've been a profitable company. We're globally located. We've got about 6 locations, expanding. And most importantly, we've been around in business for over 17 years now. Sorry, there's a bit of a lag with the slides, just bear with us. So this slide, I just want to talk about what's happening around the world in terms of data. As most of us know, there's been an explosion of data usage, be it in your homes and businesses, in smart devices or your cars, any of the device or equipment that you come across. There is tremendous amount of data that's being generated. That's also fueled by very cheap and widely available cloud computing or cloud storage or the storage devices itself. IoT has come on, and there's a lot of information that's passing through that. So you look at the whole unstructured and structured world, there is lots of data that's being generated and stored. As a result of that, there has been talks around and steps being taken around cybersecurity. You talk about data security, since you have all of the sensitive data that's being captured and stored, securing that data becomes much more important. And also with organizations moving on to the digital platforms, especially with the situation in this year, a lot of organizations across the world moved virtual, work from home, e-commerce, and so on. So that also has led to a tremendous growth in digital platforms. And as a result of that, there is a need for organizations to understand the data, be it business, service, or product data, understand the customer better, and hence a lot of focus around machine learning and artificial intelligence. Just a slide that talks about the trends in the industry. The slide sorry, my bad. The slide speaks to itself, talks about, the use of analytics, the prediction. You look at the numbers, 94, 90, 90%, and so on. So end of the day, most organizations are adapting to use the data. So you've seen a trend in business intelligence over the past few years. Organizations want to get a view of the data. Now that they've got the view, the historical view, now they want to make use of the data to predict what's going to happen, the short term, long term, and plan their business accordingly. So I want to present our platform, a framework, as we call it, called Analance, which is basically a self-serve platform. We call it zero coding because when you talk about machine learning and advanced analytics, most of the organizations think that you need a large team of data scientists, big investments in hiring people, maintaining, and so on. What we've tried to do, and our services and the framework is evolving as we go, try to make it as easy for organizations to use our framework. So we call it the zero coding, drag and drop methodology that we've tried to adapt. We've got some impressive visualizations in the mix. It connects to multiple different data sources at the back end. So we've got some connectors for most of the platforms that you can think about, SAP, Oracle, structured, unstructured, even social media platforms, and so on. A little more on the platform itself. Again, at this time we call it the modules. There is a data prep layer. And once you prep your data and get your data into a data warehouse or a data mart, you can then use that information into as a dashboard or reporting. So that's your business intelligence component. That's where you look at your historical data and look at what happened in the past and get some information around that. Or you can use the same data to perform advanced analytics. So that's where you use your machine learning algorithms, build models, look at, based on what you're seeing in the historical data, if the trends were to continue, what could happen? As simple as that. Or it could get into more complex modeling mechanisms and use some predictive technologies to get more insights into your data. Again, very easy to administer and manage. The platform could be used on-prem or purely on the cloud, or a hybrid. You could have some of the activities performed locally and some on the cloud. It's a very scalable platform from its core. Just a quick walkthrough. We talked about easy to use, we talked about zero coding, and we talked about enabling organizations to use advanced analytics without investing heavily on data scientists and so on. Here is a quick workflow on what typically happens in an advanced analytics engagement. The first step, as I talked about, is get the information. So data ingestion, data prep, getting information from either a single source or multiple source within an organization. So you look at any organizations, you could have a CRM, incident ticketing systems, your billing systems, manufacturing systems, or whatever it be, your islands of data. The first step is to pull all the information together and create a repository, so to speak. And then you perform some data analysis using that information. And the next step would be typically a data modeling. You validate that model that you've chosen to make sure that the output from the model meets the expectations. You go back and forth. And then once you have that, you train the model and you deploy the model. Once you deploy the model, as and when you get your information on a real-time basis or a near real-time basis, you can start then, looking at your prediction from this model. A little more under the hood, when we talk about the Analance platform, we talked about these three information modules. The first one, we talk about the data cleansing. When you talk about data cleansing, the data that you get in, we talked about connectors on the left. We talked about ability to connect to 40 different enterprise systems. And each of these data probably has its own way of representing. So you need to bring all the information into a data store. So get that information in, make sure there is no duplicate records, there is no missing information. Once you get that information cleaned out, you then can use that information either for reporting, dashboarding, the business intelligence, your charts and KPIs and so on, or you can use the same information out into advanced analytics, wherein you generate prediction model, and you can overlay your historical data and your predicted data into a dashboard, and that could be your a summary for a department or for the whole organization. Depending on who's viewing it, you can play around with the information that's being presented. So we talk about data security. So as an example, if finance team is using this information, they will only see what's relevant to them. If a CEO is using this information, he or she might see the entire dashboard with the financial information, operational information, customer data, and so on and so forth. So it's very flexible on how you build your reporting dashboards, either through historical or predicted data. And again, the connectors we spoke about are many, and if there is any special need, it takes about 3 to 4 weeks for us to build a connector into an enterprise system that we don't currently connect to.
Right, so let's have a short poll. Now that we've learned all about the importance of analytics, we want to know, on a scale of 1 to 5, how important will analytics be in your organization in the next 1 to 3 years? So there's 5 levels, either it's not at all important or extremely important. So we'll just give a few more seconds for everyone to cast their votes. All right, thank you for your answers. Okay, back to you, Keshav.
All right. Just give it a minute. All right. So just a quick slide to talk about, the advanced analytics benefits. The slide speaks to itself, but more around some of the key takeaways from the slide would be what we call a 360-degree view as a result of using advanced analytics and business intelligence within your organization. When we talk about the 360 view, it could be for a customer, it could be for your operations or a product. If it's for a customer, you could get your entire view from onboarding a customer to their provisioning or setting up process. Once they're provisioned within your organization, how they perform, the services that they use, from a revenue financial standpoint. It could be, again, as I said, a customer or a department, or you can slice and dice the data depending on what you want to look at, a region, the whole country as one entity. So it depends on what you want to do. You can get what we call a 360 view, end-to-end view of client services or a product. You talk about recognizing trends, adapting your service product to what's happening with your customer base and the market. There are various use cases that you can build around if you want to specifically look at a marketing deployment within a marketing team, or sales, operations, service assurance, finance and billing, and so on and so forth. With the information at your fingertips, so to speak, you understand what's happening with your historic information. you also at the same time know if the trends were to continue, what could potentially happen in the next, short term, month, 2 months, 3 months, or how would this outlook look like in the next 12 months, as simple as if you're looking at forecasting your sales. A simple example, if you were to continue your current trend, what are the revenue or the numbers that you would meet at the end of 6 months? And if you were to change some of those measures, if you were to increase the price, decrease the price, change the composition of the product or your target market, how would that affect the revenue or the number of customers that you bring on board? The other use case you could look at from a churn perspective. With your current services, if you're losing a percentage of your customers on a month-to-month or a year-to-year basis, based on your historical report, you can then categorize your customers into buckets and then treat them differently. If you see that a specific category of customers tend to cancel the service and move on, you can adapt either your service, your product, pricing to make sure that you retain the customer. So there are a lot of such benefits from using advanced analytics within your business. Again, it all depends on how mature your data systems are and the data that you have for your business. The first step is to, as I said, get hold of clean data. So we talk about the data prep process. That's very important. And then once you have that, then it's very easy for you to then move on to building out the advanced analytics and predictive analytics within your organization. More about some use cases. We talked about a couple of them within sales and customer management. Depending on the industry, depending on the business unit within that industry or an organization, you can look at many use cases, or in other words, your pain points, what you want to solve, what is your business challenge, and what is that you want to achieve. So predictive analytics might help you, in that journey. We talked about, retention. We talked about sales management, forecasting. You could do market mix optimization, product pricing from a marketing standpoint. From a network management, you can look at the utilization, capacity planning, call route optimization. There are a lot of things that you could look at from a network standpoint. Again, if it's manufacturing, supply chain, you can look at supply chain optimization. There are a lot of use cases that you can bring on. But again, as I said, it depends on which industry you're in and what problems are you trying to solve, and hence how can predictive analytics and business intelligence help you in that journey. I would suggest if there's any more specific use cases that you would like to discuss, we're more than welcome to talk about it. So just a quick slide in terms of how do you engage with the partnership, and also with how do you roll out the Analyze product. You could start with a trial if you want to explore the product, play around, get a sense of what it means to you, be it the BI or the analytics play. You could want a demo with one of our experts. We can set up a demo and give you a quick walkthrough on some of the areas that we talked about. You could want some pricing. After that, we can talk about the pricing depending on what you want to achieve. And of course, proof of concept is one where we can specifically work on your requirement and build a specific use case for you to understand in depth on how the framework and the platform works. And then we can get on to a longer engagement after that. Over to you.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jala and Keisha, for sharing your thoughts. So this is just a quick overview of both organizations. We've been partners for a few months now. And so JL Management and Doosan will work together to help make smarter organizations, help your business transform digitally, and make sense of your data. And then this is just some contact details for JL management in case you want to take note of it. So I'll just show that for a bit. And then these are the contact details for Deucen IT. All right. So before we move on to the Q&A session, I just want to share the results of the polls. So I'm sharing now all the results. So for the first one, we see that most of you think that analytics will be important, very important in the next 1 to 3 years. That's good. Let's move on to the first one. And for the first question, 50% of you are uncertain if you're maximizing the value of your data. So that's also good. There's a lot of opportunities there. And here right now, most of you have a minor investment in the use of data in analytics. All right, so let's move on now to our Q&A session. So the floor will now be open to any questions from the participants, and Jala and Keisha will do their best to answer your questions, anything about analytics or about our companies. Please raise your hand if you have a question. Or you can also send a message through chat. Don't be shy. I'm sure Jala and Keisha will be more than happy to answer your questions. Anything you're curious about the field of analytics or the field of digital transformation. So we'll just give a few more minutes in case anyone wants to ask.
This is Cenk. May I ask shortly a question? Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I'm just wondering your views about recent developments like AutoML, automated machine learning, and more democratizing the analytics, and how do you see the future there?
Sure, thank you. When you talk about automating ML, are you referring to having the ML run on its own and give you predictions over a period of time, or are you looking at more how would I put it, ML for what we call the citizen data scientist, where anybody can use ML without having to bother about how it works? Maybe you could explain your question.
Yeah, sure. So I mean more about the first, anybody can use advanced ML easily. So there are some tools in the market so that can choose the best algorithm based on your problem. It might be random forest or etc. So they check, some systems check the best algorithms, and you are not supposed to be expert on the different algorithms. So it looks like there are some new tools in the market. So how do you see there for the future?
Sure, definitely. So as we know, ML has evolved over the last few years. Initially, it was, you need to basically know coding with an R or Python to be able to, build some of these models and so on. especially with Analance, what we call a self-serve and zero coding platform. The AI or the predictive analytics engine, as you pull in the data, suggest based on the information that you've provided, what are the out of the box algorithms that are built in best suits the data that you've got. It'll give you a few options, and if you're aware on any of those, or if you are in that field, you can choose or go into the select any of those different 40 plus algorithms that's available. If you're not, as we call a citizen data scientist, which is anybody that uses a platform, can choose the default options, which is best suited based on the information that you provided, and hence you can with a few clicks of the mouse be able to generate the prediction output likewise. So you don't need to be technically savvy. You don't need to understand any bit of programming in R or Python. If you do, there are ways for us to incorporate what you've done outside the box into Analance and use that within the framework. So the Analance, of course, provides you with a lot of other framework capabilities like multi-tenancy, single sign-on, and all the other bells and whistles. So you can bring in all of your custom developed algorithms into Analance and use it on an ongoing basis.
Thank you very much.
All right, does anyone have any other questions? Okay, so we just got a question through chat. What do you think is the biggest challenges of organizations nowadays when it comes to transforming to digital? Who wants to take this, Jale or Keshav?
Jale, you want to take it or you want me to take it? Sorry, you're on mute.
Jale, you're on mute.
I will answer, but also I want to see how Keshav is answering from his perspective. The biggest challenge is organization, the current training of existing mindset, because already there is a system in organization and organization thinks this is the best option. So when you ask them to make it digital, they that kind of offer brings some fear in the organization, because when you change the game rules, everyone will need to train again. So this is a kind of problem. So the people can start blocking the changes. So my experience says if the management and the sponsor of this digital is really strong and wants to make this change, he can do it. But in the organization, if there is no sponsor, no budget, only the people are willing to do something, it's very difficult. So sometimes some department is doing separately from the whole organization. So in 2 years later, they need reorganize. So they are scrapping all what they invest, and the data structure is totally different. So such digital transformation has to be driven by the top management and should be a sponsor budget and should be considered like a project. This is my experience. If you want to it in one by one, differently will be failed. And many digital transformation projects are failed because of this. So this is my answer, and I want to also hear the answer of Keshav.
Sure.
Keshav, can you please also?
Yeah, so you rightly said it's more of training of people, but also the other big part of a digital transformation Challenge is the business process, adapting from manual or quasi-manual approach into a digital world. We've done some projects around where we've transformed business processes that was completely manual, that used to take 20-25 days, over into the automated online world, where the whole process now takes few hours to complete. So number one is people, number two is process, training, getting people to adapt to the new world. And also number three, most important, is the data. Once you transform into digital, everything now becomes, resides in the online data form. You need to be able to capitalize on that and then use that for improving your business process and hence your outcome. The outcome could be, revenue. Outcome could be cost containment, or it could be improving efficiency or customer satisfaction. I have another question here. There's talk about difference between advanced analytics and AI. Traditionally, if you look at AI, you can look at AI as an overarching discipline. Machine learning is based on the ideas that machines should be able to learn and adapt through experience. So that's more of the learning, self-learning, and so on. There are different kinds of machine learning pieces that you want to talk about, but in a broader spectrum, AI refers to those tasks that machine can run smartly. It's sort of, AI tries to mimic human abilities, whereas machine learning is a subset of AI that talks about training a machine how to learn and improve. If that's probably an explanation. In terms of the highest demand, again, it depends on the industry. As I said, if you're talking about a telco, you look at your sales management, your revenue and churn, which is a big thing in telcos. Churn management is a very big thing, and also pricing and product. Third one is when you get into their service assurance, more on SLA management, their network optimization, capacity management. If you get into healthcare, it could be patient record management, could be emergency room management, sepsis intervention. That's what we talk in the US. There are a lot of such use cases. Supply chain optimization, depending on the industry and the department that you want to get into. There are a lot of these use cases, pain points, so to speak. Now, use cases are nothing but current business challenges. How can I use predictive analytics to solve the business challenge?
Okay, I think there are two more questions. So there's a question here: how to clean or separate the wrong data?
It's a good question. Again, it's it's data. When I talk about cleaning wrong data, I'm assuming you're referring to missing information, missing fields, improperly entered data. So when you look at a database, if it's just one database, it's easier to clean and manage. So you talk about data standardization. What do I mean by data standardization? Is you look at a postal code, it has to be in, or a zip code, it has to be in a specific format, depending on the country that you're from. If you're looking at a phone number, it has to be in a specific format. A street address, city, country, all of these fields in a database, I'm just giving you a simple example, has to be in a specific format. So when you look at your database, and if you find missing fields, missing information, duplicate information, incorrect information, you need to go through a data cleansing process. So that's what we call a data standardization and a cleansing process, wherein you can do it manually. You can have somebody look through the data, clean it manually. Or in some instances, we have developed machine learning algorithms which use some of the widely available standardized data, like your local postal department data, where they maintain standard data, or some third-party available standardized data. You take that and reference your existing data to that and clean that through a machine learning algorithm. And then once you have that clean data, you can then make use of that within your business systems or advanced analytics or whatever it be. I hope I answered the question.
Last question. How would you define people analytics?
People analytics in my mind has to do with talent or human resource analytics. You know, be it your employee performance or hiring of people or anything to do with your hiring decisions, people management. People analytics play a part. Again, it's a broader term depending on what you want to achieve within your human resources group. You then break it down into specific use cases that you want to run.
All right, I think we covered all the questions, unless anyone else has questions to add. Okay, I think everyone is satisfied with the discussion. There are no more questions. Jala and Keshav, do you have any closing statements before we close the webinar?
No, sure.
Go ahead, Janet.
Hi, Jala.
Thank you for participating our first virtual event together with Dusan. And Fiona and Keshav, I really thank you. You explain us what is Keshav. You explained very well advanced analytics and how we can use your product analysis platform in our business. Also, we try to explain how we can collaborate for customer needs. And now I hope you see our contact details, so you can reach us as soon when you want, as you wish. So I hope to see you soon. Thank you very much again for coming and participating our event.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Stay safe.
You too. Bye.
Bye bye.